And I did see your show, Michael. I left a big long comment.
Oh, brother, you know what happened on my channel is I did like I do with your show sometimes. I did an edited version, a 12-minute slice, actually several slices, and it just the editing went so well. I went, damn, that's like a video, and so I put it together. I put it out as a video. Now the original one is hinging on the stream. You get lesser views with streams, but my streams usually get about 1,000 views, and it's coming up on that. But this one, the last time I looked at it was at, I think, 3.7 thousand in just a few hours, and I've gotten like 35 subscribers on it in less than 15 hours. And it's just talking about that damn album, which I will compare that album to the album we're discussing tonight, because the one thing Royce and I will agree on, this is a freaking wonderful album. And I'm talking specifically the album I know without the Black Crowes songs. I bought that album the second it came out. I played that day and night for a good year and a half at my house. Awesome. Kimberly and I had just been married 3 or 4 years when that came out. And Rachel was running around as little princess this or little princess that, mermaid this, right? She's now in college, but it was a different day. And that album just screamed. What a vocal delivery. Right. And yet different, yet the same as Robert Plant. But Royce, here I'm going to say one thing. I would agree with you that the Page and Black Crowes album. Now, I don't agree with you there. I don't think that's truly Led Zeppelin, but it is as close as we're going to get. It is akin. It is a cousin to Led Zeppelin, definitely, and I love that.
The DNA is there.
Right, and so that album, not being Led Zeppelin, it does become kind of a Page album, a John Paul Jones album, and a Robert Plant album all in one, kind of.
All and in so, one. That's exactly
so if I had to choose between this one and the Black Crowes' Jimmy Page, I would have to go with Celebration Day. Yeah, but
I would too.
But this album would be like number 2 for me, because I think the best post Led Zeppelin album by Jimmy Page is Coverdale Page. I think it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
So,
were you in the show when I showed my CD copy of that?
Oh, that's Walking into Clarksdale, right?
That's Walking into Clarksville. That's correct.
That's an album I wish they hadn't made.
I showed them both.
I'm not a fan of that album. I had such high hopes for it. It was such a disappointment. Right. But you know what, Royce? What needs to be said about this album and the identity and the blending of the Black Crowes and Jimmy Page via the Led Zeppelin approach and all of that is
go ahead, Michael.
how... Well, first of all, Led Zeppelin had its base on the blues. We've talked about that until we're blue in the face. But it's not the thing that your casual fan will go, oh, yeah, Led Zeppelin, great blues band. They think heavy metal, they think, or at least
hard
heavy,
rock,
right?
yeah.
So here we go. And then we got the Black Crowes, which got compared a whole lot early in their career to the new Rolling Stones, kind of a blues-based band, right? And so here we have this blues-based band that's known to be a blues-based band, no more technically savvy, really, than, say, the Rolling Stones. And we present Led Zeppelin. That's the album I've heard. I Want Yours. I'm going to come over to your house and steal it in the dead of the night, Royce. But the album I bought on CD, the album I bought on CD proves the point. It's always been about the blues, even with Led Zeppelin, all the time.
Jimmy Page is with the Firm. It was great to see him doing things like Dazed and Confused. When he did the violin go, yeah. Oh man, of course I saw that when he was at Zeppelin too, but of course he didn't do anything quite like that with the Black Crowes though.
Right.
That I can remember. I don't think so.
No, the record truly has. The record truly does have the DNA of the Black Crowes on it. The only thing that I would add is that somehow with Jimmy's presence and the material they chose to put out on their first release, which was all Zeppelin material, it was a crossover that is not only noble, it's a great freaking live record. And Royce and I will say this till our dying days. We love live albums over here.
Yeah, we really do.
Good ones.
We do.
And by the way, Royce, I did bring up that, and I don't include necessarily Frampton Comes Alive. Look, it's a good album. It's I want to say that. Okay. But I was a fan of Peter Frampton and knew all those songs before that album came out. And it was the album my little brother listened to and all his snotty little friends, right? And so from the day it came out, I've always had kind of an elitist attitude about Frampton Comes Alive because I was a big fan of him. Frampton's Camel, Humble Pie, all of that shit, man. I was, ooh.
Yeah, I saw him in concert at a free show at our fairgrounds.
Right. And the talk box bit annoyed the hell out of me.
I actually like Do You Feel Like I Do or whatever.
Oh, God, I hated it. To me, that was like the first version of autocorrect, Do you believe in love? That's kind of, to me, that was just irritating. Now, I have heard the talk box used very creatively since then, and I love it as a device, but not this big, don't go, come on. And so, but most of those songs he had covered in one way or another before, and so I was very familiar, and I go, well, the better versions on the album.
Right.
And it was a good way to pick back at my kid brother,
Right.
I don't think you could drive the stake any deeper or harder into that album's heart.
It's a fine album, but Chris, Nick, I hear too much Hollywood. Keep it on Nick here. I'm just responding to Nick.
No, I get it.
It's too flashy, about as flashy a live album as I can endure is Paul McCartney and Wings Over America. That's about as glitzy as I can get. And then I start wanting to hear some barbed wire to the album, just a bit, like the Allman Brothers at the Fillmore East, that kind of groove.